Hey everyone, we're back again for another Dokkan battle video. So we're back again, and we're doing another tier list because I think it's now time, right? We had the last tier list I did was worldwide download celebration, just when LR Cooler dropped and LR Metal Cooler and the Super Saiyan Duo and Carnival Goku and all that. I think now January of 2023, 27th here, after the New Year celebration, where we got Beast Gohan, quote in quotation marks, and Power Awakening Piccolo. I think now is a good time to redo that list and see how much has changed, right? So let's start a couple of honorable mentions here. We have LR Physical Goku and Piccolo, who I think are quite a good unit. They have guard for the first 5 turns. They can obviously build up attack. And once they launch the special beam cannon, there's a lot of damage. And Piccolo is an offensive monster, but unfortunately, he's a glass cannon. So, yeah. I don't have as many teams that I'd like, so they're just not at the level I want from them, to be honest. LR Janemba has fallen off the list here. LR Janemba is very good, still, for sure. I just think better units come out. His defensive capability is obviously very good. Again, he's guarding. He's got really good links. He's that beam nullification. He's very good. You know, even has that rage mode, which I have found to come in useful every now and again. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but it can be useful for sure. LR Kaioken Goku, another offensive monster here. Creating his own orbs, never struggles for ki, high chance to crit. Like, he's just great, right? Thinks it's not the best in the world, but it's still good. I really do like LR Kaioken Goku. But again, there's better units, I think, have kind of come out. The Tech Goku and Gohan are still quite good as well. They are a nuker, so obviously you need the orbs for them. Their team isn't their big 200% team. It's not the best, the SR Goku and Gohan team right now, but they are still a good unit, right? Defensively, they're also not quite where I want them to be, but offensively, they really are something to behold. They have a really good active skill with the guaranteed crits for the turn. They get a guaranteed additional 20 ki, blah, blah, blah. We know they're good. And then the last unit I have here is the Super Saiyan Duo from the Worldwide Download Celebration. I think they're also really good, but they're just a little undertuned, I think. They shouldn't lose their additional after like 3 turns. They shouldn't lose the extra damage reduction. They shouldn't have a great chance to do an additional when they do get their morale boost. The morale boost is just too hard to get anyways. There's not a whole lot of upside there. Their link set's incredible. They're still a great team. They're still a very good unit, but for me, they miss out in the top 10. But without further ado, let's just get into this top 10. Starting with LR Goku Black and Zamasu. LR Goku Black and Zamasu are the oldest unit on this list, Shock Horror. Coming out during Halloween of 2017 on Global, right? I wasn't even playing the game at the time. But they did easy on the 21st of December 2022. And they are monstrously good. Like, raising defense for multiple turns and super attack effects, obviously very good. They recover HP, they have guard for the first 3 turns, they build up, they have a great link set. They're not on a whole lot of teams, but they're crazy powerful, for sure. They can easily put up like 15, they're anywhere between even my one with one dupe, I think is putting up anywhere between 9 million and 11. And I know a rainbow one can put up 13, 14 million even. With support, they are utterly monstrous. With very high defense, 5, 6, 700k defense. Now, with guard, that's invincible, basically. But when their guard wears out, they can definitely get caught, right? They're not invincible. They're not really a slot 1 unit. When they have guard, they are, but when it runs out, it's not the easiest to go about. But they don't have a 200% leader skill yet, so that's something to keep in mind. Actually, I just realized I forgot to put in the honorable mentions. I'll put him in now, and I'll briefly talk about him. I forgot to mention LR Fusion Zamasu. LR Fusion Zamasu, this isn't ordered by the way, but LR Fusion Zamasu is obviously very good as well, and their best partner. He does have a 200%, and he probably could have been on this list. He probably would be number 11, to be honest. But yeah, I just like Goku Black and Zamasu a little bit more than him. kit-wise. I think they bring a little bit more to the table. But yeah, like they're still really good. And when they get a 200%, maybe led by like a Goku Black, like a new base one or a transforming one or blah blah blah, or just standalone Rose, I do think this unit can kind of make a bit of a comeback, and maybe go up this list a little bit, potentially. But yeah, they're really good. Moving on, we have number 9. Yeah, it's him. It's Beast Gohan, guys. No, it's LR Ultimate Gohan. Probably the most disappointing release Dokkan have ever done. Probably. I mean, probably. He's up there, like top 3 or 4 anyways, for sure. Gohan leads a really great team. Superheroes is one of the new categories introduced, and it's amazing. Obviously, new hybrid lead is good. And it's 200% to bond a parent child. Movie heroes is obviously very strong. Super attack effects are pretty solid too. But yeah, this kid, he is undertuned. First 3 turns when he has the guard, he's very good. If he had guard permanently, I mean I don't know where I'd put him. He'd be way up this list. If Gohan had guard permanently, where would I put him? He'd probably be 3. Probably. Maybe even, would he be 1? No, probably not. No, he'd probably be 3. 2 or 3, he's in that range. He'd be like top 3 if he kept his guard the whole time, and they kept everything else the same. But yeah, he does have some issues, right? First of all, he struggles for key, because his link set sucks, basically. Like, individually, all of these links are good. Like, All in the Family is a good link. Same Warrior Race is a good link. Infighter is useful. Shocking Speed, Kamehameha, Fierce Battle, Legendary Bear. All these links are, like, on their own, good. Just with this unit, it doesn't work. Why doesn't he have Saiyan Lineage? Why doesn't he have Cold Judgment? Like, those 2 would help him a lot, you know? It hurts not having Cold Judgment. The link with, like, Tech Ultimate Gohan. Like, when Beast Gohan was coming out, I even did it in my concept video, right? If anyone watched that. I wanted this Gohan to link really well with Beast Gohan, or this Beast Gohan to link really well with Tech Ultimate Gohan, and link well with Orange Piccolo. That's not what happened. I will tell you now, Orange Piccolo is obviously on this list, and they share 2 links. It's Fierce Battle and Legendary Power. And just with Tech Ultimate Gohan, before pre-transformation, because there's never really a reason to transform into Ultimate Gohan. Does anyone know off the top of their head how many links they share together? This Ultimate Gohan and Tech Ultimate Gohan? Okay, cool. It's 2 as well. It's All in the Family and Fierce Battle. Now, when he if you actually do decide to like awaken into Ultimate Gohan, they do share All in the Family, Saiyan Warrior Race, Infighter, Shocking Speed, and Fierce Battle. So then they're kind of cooking, right? With 5 links or whatever, but it's still not worth it. It's not good. Beast Gohan can put up a bunch of attack, a bunch of damage. Like, he can be super effective against all types of 24 key. He has a nullification, which is obviously really good. Again, the extra key per key sphere is good, but only Shocking Speed is your only key link and no key build up anywhere. He does struggle for key. Very often, you're going to use Gohan, and he's going to start at 6k. And then, realistically, you're probably not going to get a bunch of orbs. We'll say 3 or 4 even. That's not an 18 key super attack. And you need 20 to get the 70% chance to be a super. Which brings me on to another thing. Why is it 70%? I don't understand. It should very easily just be guaranteed. Like, the LR Gods and Super Saiyan 4s have it guaranteed at 20 key. Why does Gohan have a 70% chance? And what hurts even more is Gohan builds up, right? Attack and defense with each super attack performed. It's not even attacks, it's super attacks. And because it's super attacks, when that 70% chance does fail, which it will occasionally, you're screwed. You're not building up. Gohan just isn't good enough. And then, here's the other thing. We have the special beam cannon, right? So it hurts enough, right? That we don't actually get to use Beast Gohan as a playable character yet. Like, it sucks. But what hurts more, in my opinion, is the fact that when we do get to use Beast Gohan in this active skill, it does like no damage. It hits like a feather. Because he doesn't stack any attack. He just greatly raises attack for the turn. Like, if we get most of the big active skills, Vegeta and Trunks, stack attack. Elder Super Saiyan 4s, stack attack. LR Gods, stack attack. LR Cooler, stacks attack. That's why all their active skills hit so hard. This Gohan, nah, he just doesn't. It kind of hits like a feather. Like, it's guaranteed to be super effective against all types, which is fine. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. Like, it's good even. But like, if you just stack attack, like, there's so many changes you can make to Gohan to make him good. I might make that a video. I know another YouTuber, Minatos Flash. I'm not sure if anyone has watched him or watches him. Or, you know, if you do, I follow him on Twitter anyways. You can follow me there as well. But Minatos did a video a while ago which was fixing like every Dokkan Fest or every LR from like 2021, I believe. I'm not sure if he did 2022, but I know he did 2021. I watched those videos. They were really entertaining. I might do something similar, and there's so much to fix with Beast Gohan. There's so much. Like, if we keep his core the same and just change a couple of things, again, he could be like the best unit in the game. Like, he could be up here with like the very top tier units. But he's not, because there's just too many flaws in his kit. Now, you probably could raise him up a spot, to be honest. Maybe 2 spots, but I wouldn't go any higher than that. But we'll look at who's next on this list, which is LR Metal Cooler. Let me just... There he is. Okay, LR Metal Cooler. I love LR Metal Cooler. He's definitely one of my favorite units in the game, for sure. Now, could he have been better? Yes. I think Metal Cooler, for me, is just a little bit undertuned. Just a small bit. He didn't need much to fix him. Like, he's a big healer. He can do okay damage. He lowers attack, which is quite good on 12k. Again, all the healing is super good. Obviously, his revive is his biggest thing. He has the unarmed super attack nullification, which is actually more valuable than you might think, because there's a lot of bosses, actually, that do melee supers. Like, the Metal Cooler Army in the Metal Cooler Core Red Zone does a melee super. Broly's first 2 stages are both melee supers. Final Form Cooler in the Wicked Bloodline Red Zone's a melee super. I'm pretty sure Full Power Frieza is also melee super. So there are supers you can nullify, you know, and it's a 70% chance to nullify. And again, obviously, when his revive condition is just, if he dies, you revive. I think the 2 big things I would change about Metal Cooler, because to be honest, most of his kit is perfectly fine. He also has a good active skill as well. The heal is quite nice and it's very easy to activate. But if I was to change 2 things about Metal Cooler, it would be to allow him to link with other Metal Coolers. I think that, you know, like, if this guy could link with like AGL Metal Cooler, that would be a really sick rotation, in my opinion. I would love to run that, but they don't link, which does hurt a little bit. But yeah, the biggest thing even, that I would change about LR Metal Cooler is that when he revives, he gets some sort of buff. Like, because he's not the best defensively, you know? Like, he can, when he's like fully built up and he's got his full HP, he can have like 600k defense even sometimes before super. Which means after super, he's going to be like around 800k, which is the solid, but it means he's still going to kind of get crushed by the million damage super attacks. You know, like Cell Max, the core. I mean, probably he'll take a lot of damage, but he'll live. And then like Omega, he's going to live because he's type advantage. But you guys get the idea. Like, he can kind of get cooked. So, what I would do is just, if he died, give him like 30% damage reduction for like the rest of the fight. Like, that, I think that's fine, you know? Like, other revival units get a buff when they die, like future AGL Trunks and Future Gohan. Like, when Future Gohan revives, he has 58% damage reduction. Like, when Tech Carnival Goku revives, he has permanent guard. You know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. If LR Metal Cooler just got some damage reduction, even 20%, like, if you have like 800k defense with 20% damage reduction, you're going to be okay against a lot of attacks. You're still going to take damage, but, you know, he'll tank them a lot better. Like, 20% would have been enough. 30 if we're feeling really generous, because then I think he'd be able to tank a lot of the big bosses decently well. I mean, I still don't think he's going to survive like the core or like Cell Max, but, you know, a lot of the other bosses I think he can do quite well against. But that's kind of my only thing with LR Metal Cooler. I think I just have him go above Beast Gohan for consistency. Like, Metal Cooler doesn't really let you down, at least in my case. Mine's 55%, and he's never really the reason I'm losing fights. You know what I mean? No, I don't have Beast Gohan or LR Ultimate Gohan, but I've seen on many occasions of him like kind of letting the team down, right? You know, he's not as consistent, and consistency is key, right? Like that's what I think, you know, consistency. And Metal Cooler is pretty consistent. I just wish he had a little bit more, and if he did, then he would probably be a little bit higher on this list. I'd probably put him up maybe 1, even 2 spots if he had like damage reduction after he revived, something like that. Anyways, moving on to the next person on this list, it is the LR Super Saiyan 4s. So let's talk about them. The other Super Saiyan 4s, right? There's always been a lot of, well, not always, but there's been a lot of controversy with them. A lot of discussion, I guess, since kind of worldwide onwards. Because Movie Heroes got so many buffs and the other gods got so many buffs to their team. And then people act like the Super Saiyan 4s suck now. But here's the truth. They don't. The Super Saiyan 4s are still just as good. Like, as the gods, really. For the most part, you know? The only kind of issues I have with them, and I think everyone kind of points this out, it's just the lack of partners. The lack of partners and lack of key, right? Because the gods got prepared for battle, which is a super common key link, and like nearly everyone has it. Well, nearly all the super class units have it. But the Super Saiyan 4s have shocking speed instead, and they have GT, but it's just not easy to get. Not as many top tier units have shocking speed and GT. Like, I'm looking at the list here. How many of them have shocking speed? I don't think any of them do. Actually, I think it's just Beast Gohan, actually, on this list, who has shocking speed, just as I'm kind of scanning through it with my eyes. Yeah, it's just them, actually. It's just Beast Gohan and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta have shocking speed. All the rest are prepared for battle or, you know, villains who don't have it. So, yeah. But yeah, like, this base is still very good. Again, the crit, the guaranteed additional, the super effective against all types, 24 key. They still need a good team, but these teams need buffs. Like, Fused Fighters is crying out for more buffs. They just don't have anything. I mean, AGL Blue Gogeta was a good buff. He's EZA, but the only problem with him is he doesn't link with these guys because they don't gain Fused Fighter, which, you know, like, I think that's a problem. I mean, I said it at the time as well when they came out. I would have preferred, like, obviously a lot of people are going crazy because they got Saiyan Roar, right? Which is good, but they don't change links when they become Gogeta, which hurts, I think, because if they had Fused Fighter, at least he'd be able to link with other fusions, but they don't. And there's very few fusions who actually have shocking speed. Like, some of them do. I think some of the Gotenks do. I think AGL Super Vegito has shocking speed. The Super Saiyan 4 Gogetas has shocking speed, but, like, you know what they all have? They all have Fused Fighter, bar you, and it does hurt. When we go into Gogeta, like, I mean, what's there to say? Gogeta's still a monster, right? The disable enemy action, the massive defensive raise, the key double key per key sphere, that damage reduction per rainbow key sphere is still very good. He's super effective against all types. He's got a high chance of additionaling, high chance of dodging and countering supers. Like, he's really good. Obviously, his active skill hits really hard. The Gogeta's still really good. He's just not that slot 1 god. And neither are the LR gods, but the difference with the LR gods is they have people to go in slot 1 for them that work well with them. The LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta doesn't have that. If he did, I mean, he'd be right up there. I mean, if he did also have slot 1 partners of the same quality, or if he just had Prepare for Battle or Fused Fighter, I mean, I'd probably have him maybe still above the gods. Maybe. But right now, it's not plausible. He just doesn't have the setups and the teams to kind of compete where the gods are. Again, they're basically the same unit, and I actually prefer what LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta does, but he doesn't have what he needs. Maybe the 8th year anniversary would change that with the headlining GT Spirit Bomb Goku and the LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Maybe. That might help, but until then, Gogeta's just still ridiculously strong, just kind of dormant, I guess. Just kind of waiting for his moment. Because he hasn't fallen off. And I'll say that again and again. Moving on, next on the list is the newest addition to Global. It's LR Golden Frieza. LR Golden Frieza was one of my most anticipated units on Global, and unfortunately I did not pull him, which does suck, because I would love to do about 50 videos on him, but it is what it is. LR Golden Frieza is just... he's great. He's excellent. 90% damage reduction at the start of turn. He loses it per turn, even turns he's not on. A guaranteed additional super when your HP is above 50%. He builds up attack and defense between getting hit and doing super attacks. He's got a shit active skill, but it's fine. Like, he's got a pretty good link set. If you had big web bosses, he'd probably be a spot higher on this list, to be honest. Yeah, you know, he definitely would if he had big web bosses and stuff instead of his Resurrection F links, but it is what it is. There's not a whole lot to say about LR Golden Frieza, I think. He's just really good. Like, super defensive wall, he builds up, and then when he fully builds up his passive but loses damage reduction, he's still pretty good. Like, he's not completely invincible anymore, but he's still very strong. I just really like LR Golden Frieza. He's just, again, he's very consistent too. And again, consistency is very good. Moving on. I just don't have a lot to say about LR Golden Frieza. He's just simply very good. But moving on to the top 5, we have the LR Gods. The LR Gods are, again, basically in base are literally the same unit as the LR Super Saiyan 4s. Again, they just have the better link set here. Because Prepare for Battle is just a link that you're going to activate more often. So they're going to not struggle for ki as much. And that's basically it. They're also on the best team in the game, which is Movie Heroes. And lead Movie Heroes. So, again, which is the best team in the game right now. So yeah, when they go blue, there's not a whole lot to say. Like, they're just, again, they're basically Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, but instead of gaining damage reduction per Rainbow Key Sphere, they gain, what is it? Dodge, sorry. And then they're always, so they're super effective against all types at 16 ki, and get a guaranteed additional 20 ki. While the difference with Gogeta is that he has a high chance to do an additional, always, but he's always super effective against all types. So, you know, that's kind of the difference there. Super Saiyan Blues, Super Saiyan Gods here, they're ridiculously strong still. I think a lot of people know that anyways. I see some people underrating them a bit and overrating them. I think the truth is kind of somewhere in between, which is kind of where I've tried to place them here. Just in the middle. They're very good, very consistent. I just really like them, for sure. They're one of the best units in the game, still. And with some of the best animations in the game, which is always very cool. Just above them, we have Tech Carnival Goku. I mean, I talked about him before, but let's go over him again, I guess. Tech Carnival Goku is just... he's just great. He's a defense stacking guard revive unit. He's got all the defensive utility you'd want. He's fantastic. Again, he's super effective against all types if he gets hit first. He gets the extra defense on hit. Again, he's got guard. He's got a very easy revive condition. He's just really good. He's on a bunch of teams. Like, I don't know how many 200% he has. I think he's on like 6 or 7. He might be on the most, honestly. He's ridiculous when it comes to 200% leader skills. He's got a very simple, easy to activate link set. What can I say? Tech Carnival Goku is just ridiculously consistent and ridiculously good. And on JP, they have his best linking partner, who is just EZA, which is EZA AGL LR Gohan, who is arguably the best unit in the entire game. And this guy shares 7 out of 7 with them. And they have a really good, like, combo where, you know, if you fall below, like, 50%, you can revive from turn 5, and given you have an android on the team, you can still transform AGL Gohan, and then you can activate his full passive with this Goku. And if you happen to die, then you can just revive anyway with Carnival Goku. So it's ridiculous. It's really dumb. But yeah, that's it with Tech Carnival Goku. He's very good. And if we had AGL Gohan on Global, I would probably bump him up a spot. But we don't. So it is what it is. So moving on to the top 3. We have LR Cooler. LR Cooler, for me, is still my favorite unit in the game, and he was number 1 on this list when I did it just after Worldwide. But yeah, LR Cooler is just, he's simply the GOAT for me. Leads a fantastic villain team, probably the best villain team in the game. Really good super attack effect. He stacks attack, which means his active skills can hit like a nuclear bomb. He just does a million attacks per turn, builds up during it with doing attacks, and he builds up ki, which Beast Gohan should do, but he doesn't. It is what it is. Cooler is consistently good offensively and inconsistently good defensively. Because if you don't get his medium chances to do supers, like, he can struggle defensively occasionally. It can happen, but I think his overwhelming offense is enough to make up for his inconsistent defense, I would say. Because, sometimes he'll do one 12k super attack and you're probably going to be sitting around like 600k. And you're like, I'm probably dead. And then you get supered for like 600k and you probably die. It can happen. But if you live, again, you have all the LR Coolers and the Janembas and the SR Cooler Metamorphosis links and blah, blah, you heal up. It's fine. It can happen. Or Cooler can do like 5 12 keys, and then you're like, oh, Cooler has like 1.6 million defense, and he just tanked Cellmax. You know what I mean? Like, you never really know what you're getting with Cooler. He's not the most consistent unit in the world, but he's definitely, like, ridiculously powerful. And more often than not, he's going to give you at least 2 super attacks, which gives you enough defense to tank basically everything anyway, bar like a rogue super, which again can occasionally happen to him, but it happens to all of them, nearly all of these units can get caught, you know what I mean? So I'm not gonna hold this against Cooler, really. He also has a fantastic villain link set. It's, again, the Metamorphosis, Big Web Boss, the Thirst for Conquest trio is like really strong. Cooler's just still an overwhelming beast, and still my favorite unit in the game for sure. But let's move on to the top 2. In second place, we have LR, Vegeta, and Trunks. LR, Vegeta, and Trunks were not out on Global when I did this tier list before, but now that they're here, they lead one of the best teams in the game, Bond of Parent and Child. Along with Future and 30% the Battle of Fate is a really good leader skill. They do stack attack and defense on their 18 key super attack, which is obviously very strong. They have a very strong intro where they guard in any slot for the first 5 turns. They always guard in slot 1. They've built in additionals. They build up crit through getting hit, and as well as extra defense. They have one of the best active skills in the game, where again it is the guaranteed crits, which is obviously very good because they're stacky attack. But they're also giving allies defense for the whole turn, which is really good. Their condition's not hard either, which is turn 3 with full Future Saga, or below 50% with on turn 5 or later. Like, really good condition, really good unit, really good link set as well, with Prepare for Battle, Dismal Future, and Royal Lineage for key links. And that same way you write Super Saiyan, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power are all super common links too. Vegeta and Trunks, their issue is if they get forced out of slot 1, which hasn't happened yet. Like, when they eventually do get forced out of slot 1, that's when they'll probably start aging. But right now, they're still, like, probably the best slot 1 unit in the game. Probably. They're up there. Them, the guy who's number 1, HL Gohan, when he is his guard, and Tech Honorable Goku and like Gamma 1 are all like contenders for best slot 1. But yeah, they're still ridiculously good. One problem I have noticed, and we'll actually bring it up when I talk about number 1 here, and I will talk about the new best unit in the game, LR Power Awakening Piccolo. LR Power Awakening Piccolo leads superheroes in Battle of Wits. He's a ridiculously strong unit. But before I go into detail about Piccolo, let me just talk up that one issue I have with Vegeta and Trunks that I began to notice. So, they are on the new category, the superhero category, as we can see down here. And the superhero category is led by Gohan and Piccolo. Now, I run Piccolo because I actually pulled him, and I didn't pull Gohan. And I think Piccolo's a better leader for this team anyway. But here's something I've noticed is a lot of the units I want to run on Piccolo's team, the Superhero and Battle of Wits team, aren't actually on Bond of Parent and Child. Like, Piccolo himself obviously is not on it. Who is it? AGL Easy Blue Gogeta, who I often run the team, is not on it. The SDR movie hero Piccolo is not on it either. So there has been rotations where I've had Vegeta and Trunks, and they don't have their intro buff because there's no bond of parent child with them. Because the superhero team, which I think is arguably the best team in the game as well, because you lead with double Piccolo. Sometimes Vegeta and Trunks kind of get a little bit lost on that team, but it can happen occasionally. It has happened to me a few times. It's not the biggest deal. I just think, you know, it can happen to them. Obviously, there's a bunch of Bond of Parent Child units on it, because Gohan is the banner unit of Pan, Carnival Goku, the LR Gods, blah blah. Like, there's plenty of units that still are on Bond of Parent Child, but I think it's good to just acknowledge that you can get unlucky with them sometimes. And yeah, not the best superhero build, which again, I do think is one of the best builds in the game, doesn't have many Bond of Parent Child allies, so you might kind of get caught. But anyways, let's talk about Piccolo. Piccolo gets great super attack effect. It's a great team. He is guard for the first 3 turns, which is obviously very strong. He's got the key sphere. He's got built-in damage reduction. He builds up with getting hit, which is fine because again he's guarding. Yeah, I mean he's just really good, huh? He does have a big Sensu heal if you can get it. It's very rare, but if your HP is 30% or less starting when he enters the turn and you've been hit 7 times a battle, you do fully recover HP and get an extra 30% damage reduction, and at that point he's invincible. Now I use this Piccolo like a lot, and at 55% when he fully builds up and put his intro buff wears out, he's still at like 500k with 20% damage reduction. And then when he supers, he's at like 750 with 20% damage reduction. If you do get his heal and you get up to 50% damage reduction, he's completely invincible, like for sure. Like he just can't be touched at all. But what really makes him the best unit in the game is obviously Orange Piccolo, which is the same condition as Beast Gohan. Orange Piccolo just does so much damage. Like, it's so easy, it's free damage, he can triple super. If you build Orange Piccolo is one of those things you build super offensively, and he just doesn't let you down. He's just does so much ridiculous damage. He can kill bosses by himself. The Orange Piccolo is legit the closest thing we probably have, at least on global, because HLL or Gohan exists on JP, to like an automatic win button. Like if you get Orange Piccolo out, you basically win. In most circumstances, you just win. So yeah, that's kind of it. Piccolo is just simply that guy. He also buffed like a bunch of bad teams. So yeah, Piccolo's just a goat. So full tier list. This is what we are looking at. At 10, we have LR Goku Black and Zamasu. We have Beastless Gohan. We have Metal Cooler. We have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. We have Golden Frieza. We have the LR Gods, Carnival Tech Goku, LR Final Form Cooler, LR Vegeta and Trunks, and Power Awakening / Orange Piccolo. That is my top 10 units in the game. Tell me if you disagree. You probably do. That's fine. I don't mind. Obviously, it's just my opinion. If you disagree, cool. Tell me why you disagree. Tell me what you tell me who you'd put where, you know? Am I overrating, like, I don't know, LR Metal Cooler, I guess, because, you know, I've seen some people talk him up, talk him down. Am I overrating Beast Gohan or underrating him? Should he be like 5 on this list? No, but, you know, maybe you think that. If you do, comment why you think that, and we can have a discussion. I always try to answer my comments. It's always fun. Or, you know, I'm always happy to have discussions in my comment section or on my Discord, or if you want to reply to me on Twitter, whatever. I'm always happy to have these conversations with people. So yeah, that is the tier list. That's the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.